Hello, Oliver here. I'm presenting another vlog. This is vlog number 14. Of course, as you know, we have been involved with the series, The Jesus You Never Knew. We have come to the conclusion of that, and now we are switching on to a new series of vlogs. And this will be 6 vlogs that I will present under the title, Living with People from Another Culture. This is critically important to me because I believe as an immigrant in this country, I believe that I can speak to some of the challenges of culture, the challenges of more or less of understanding culture and understanding other people. If we are to be a community of faith, as God intends us to be, I think it's critical that we be not a monogeneous whole, but we will be heterogeneous in the sense that what we have is an involvement with different cultures as God has intended it to be. So what is culture? That's the title of this vlog. What is culture? The first and the most basic definition of culture that pops into people's heads often refers to a geographic location, the culture of a tribe, the culture of a city, the West Coast, the East Coast, the British Isles. All of these are possible ways of grouping people into a culture. With this approach, it's possible to take a bigger macro view, the Asian culture, the African culture, the Western or Eastern culture, or a more precise, or what we will call a microview, Greenwich Village or Manhattan culture or Louisiana culture, or the culture of your own in-laws. Hello. This approach is a good start for defining culture, but culture is certainly based on something more than a geographic place. Turning to a dictionary definition, we might read that culture is, quote, the totality of socially transmitted behavioral patterns, arts, beliefs, institutions, and all other products of human work and thought, unquote. Or further, quote, these patterns, traits, and products considered as the expression of a particular period, class, community, or population. Edwardian culture, Japanese culture, the culture of poverty, unquote. Culture is the relatively stable set of inner values and beliefs generally held by groups of people in countries or regions, and the noticeable impact those values and beliefs have on people's outward behaviors and environment. So we have been besieged by what we call cultural analogies. Culture is like, fill in the blanks. If I ask you to draw a model for culture on a sheet of paper, what would you draw? What comes to mind? Culture has been described as a rose, a hot dog, a spider web, a pizza, a toilet, clouds, a wheat field, a bathtub, a circus, a dog complete with fleas and all, and so on. Other common analogies that Americans seem to like, and they are more appealing than the toilet, represent culture as a melting pot, a salad bowl, tapestry, or a mosaic. A tree is another way to describe culture. Trees are formed over many years by the constant, slow impact of their environment. Wind, rain, sunlight, nutrients. Just as people are slowly formed by family, diet, environment, education, trees change from year to year. Yeah, that's the truth. And dropping their leaves, losing branches, growing new ones, but they remain essentially the same tree over time. Cultures and individuals may also adopt ever-changing popular trends, but somehow they remain essentially the same over time. An iceberg is what I would like to use as a metaphor to describe culture. An important first distinction to make when examining culture, therefore, is between the part you see, the tip of the iceberg, or above the waterline culture, and the part you don't see, the bottom of the iceberg under the water culture. The tip of the iceberg can be interesting, but just as approximately 80% of an iceberg's mass is underwater, perhaps 80% of the important aspects of one's culture are also contained in the invisible and usually unconscious characteristics of culture. First, the bottom of the iceberg is the foundation for what you see at the top. If you understand the underlying causes of why people behave the way they do, you are a little more likely to be able to anticipate how they act or react in a variety of situations. The second reason for the importance of the lower 4/5 of the iceberg is that these principles apply to all cultures. When you study and try to memorize a long list of facts and figures and tip of the iceberg information about Italy, for instance, you can't apply the information on your business trip to Germany. It's a different culture. I'll give you a test of your knowledge, and I want to throw out some proverbs, maybe to prod your thinking in this. Let me give you 10 proverbs, and in the next vlog, I will give you the answer to these. Could you guess where these proverbs came from? Number 1, you got eyes to see and wisdom not to see. What does that mean? Where does it come from? Number 2, muddy roads call the milepost a liar. Number 3, every bell ain't a dinner bell. Where did that come from? Number 4, a mule can tote so much goodness in his face that he don't have none left for his hind legs. Number 5, and these are cultural proverbs. Number 5, the graveyard is the cheapest boarding house. Think on that. Number 6, a crow does fly high, but when he comes low, the ants does eat out his eyes. Hello. Number 7, if you go to a town and find a chief sitting on the ground, do not ask for a stool. Number 8, when the Nile knows a secret, the desert will soon know it too. Number 9, if you want to eat roast plantain, be ready to burn your fingers. And number 10, the insect that bites has no one to come to its aid when it's in trouble. These are just some cultural proverbs. Let me take this opportunity to remind you that I'll be teaching a course at the EP School of Ministry starting on March 15th through April 21st. And there will be 8 sessions, and I think you will enjoy it. And you can go to EP School of Ministry and register. The cost is only $100, and it's well worth the value. And then, of course, at my local church, the Community Missionary Baptist Church, we will be doing a seminar or workshop on March 19th at the Cedar Hill campus entitled My Neighbor Next Door. So this has been vlog number 14. I trust that you will be geared up to deal with this whole idea of culture. God has created culture. God has created us all to be a part of different cultures. And these vlogs, the next 6 vlogs, I think will be critical in helping us to understand different peoples from different cultures as God has created. God bless you, and see you on Sunday.